So even with this example here, when we have more than two fractions being multiplied, really in a fraction, there's only a times on top and a divide on bottom. So as long as we keep all the multiplications together in the numerator and all the divisions together in the denominator, we'll get the right answer. So here I have all the numerators. I'm just going to multiply them all together. So 2 times 1 gives me 2 in the numerator. And in the denominator, I'm going to have 5, 3, and 4. That's all divide, so I group all those together. So I'm going to group them with multiplication. So 5 times 3 times 4. 5 times 3 is 15, times 4 is 60. And then, since they share a common divisor of 2, I'm going to divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. So I end up with 1 on top, 30 on bottom, and that's my simplified fraction. So same thing here. I want you guys to think of times on top, divide on bottom. As long as we keep the times together, we can group them together. As long as we keep the divide together, we can group that together. So 1 times 5 times 1 is 5. On the bottom, we get 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. So we get 5 over 30 in the denominator. And again, since they share a common factor of 5, we're going to divide that common factor. And so we end up with 5 divided by 5 is 1. 30 divided by 5 is 6, or a simplified fraction is 1 over 6. So as long as we keep all the multiplications together and group them or multiply them together, and we keep all the divisions on the bottom and we group them and we multiply them together, we'll get the correct answer. So we want to just relate this back to our picture, top times top, bottom times bottom. When we draw our picture for our fractions, if I do 2/3, I get 1, 2, so there's 2/3. There's my 2, and then I have 1/2. So there's my 1/2. My answer is going to be the 2/3 area times 1/2. The answer we're going to get reflects the top times top and bottom times bottom, because the numerator represents the parts that we want, that we shaded, and we get that by 1 part along the vertical, 2 parts along the horizontal, and we get our 2 parts there. And for the denominator, we're going to do 3 times 2 is 6. And we get the 6 by seeing that there's 2 parts along the horizontal, and we get 2 parts along the vertical and 3 parts along the horizontal. And that gives us the 6 pieces that make up the whole. So that's our part whole. It connects back to our part whole relationship. So there's our answer. We can see that in our picture. For 4/5 times 2/5, well, I'm going to draw in my fifths this way. I'm going to draw my fifths this way as well. So 4/5 down here and then 2/5 here. My area is going to be 2/5 times 4/5, which is going to be this area here. And again, we're going to get our answer. We can see that the answer is going to be 8 pieces out of 25 total. And we get our 8 pieces from our 2 parts this way times 4 parts this way. That gives us the 8 parts that make up the part. And then the whole is going to be the whole, which is 5 parts make up the whole vertically, 5 parts make up the whole horizontally. And so that's going to give us the 5 times 5, or 25 pieces that make up the whole part. Okay, so this again connects to our part-whole relationships. 8 parts to 25 parts that make up the whole, or part-whole relationship.